All right, I'm back. And so now we're going to actually get into the miscommunication that can happen in the communication cycle, right? So remember, the first half, the speaker. I have an idea or a feeling and I want to express it to somebody. I figure out what the words are and then I say the words out loud. And then we move over to the other side. And then the listener. The listener first has to hear what I say and then they have to interpret what my meaning is, right? So we've got all sorts of places where miscommunication can happen. Okay. There's miscommunication that can happen between my thought, my feelings, and what I actually say. There's miscommunication between what I say and actually what you hear. And then there's miscommunication that can happen between what you hear and what you think I meant. Okay, so there's a lot of different spots where things can go a little bit awry. All right. So if we focus here, right? Believe it or not, as a speaker, I can miscommunicate 100% by myself. I can be the sole cause of miscommunication. And believe it or not, it happens all the time, especially with me. Right? So this is how it can happen. And think about it like this, right? Think about, a strong emotion that you felt at some point, whether it was you felt embarrassed about something, you felt shamed about something, maybe you were feeling some type of way about somebody and you were kind of crushing on them. Any like strong feeling you have, maybe you're feeling really grateful for something. Those strong feelings tend to be the hardest to put into words. And the reason is the part of your brain that has feelings or tells you feel something and the part of your brain that uses words or makes words are two totally different parts. It's like being in a car and then you have the engine, which drives the wheels, and you have the radio. They're both part of the car, but they're totally different. That's how our brain works with what we feel and what our words are. So when we're trying to express a feeling that we have, it can be extremely difficult for a lot of people to make words for them, to figure out what words express the feeling accurately. Okay, so sometimes you just can't, you don't know how to find the right words to express what you're feeling. That can be a miscommunication, right? Sometimes people, they'll deceive you on purpose because they might be worried about what a person would think, or they'd be embarrassed about how somebody would receive what they said, right? So sometimes this miscommunication over here in one, sometimes this is on purpose, kind of, where I'm intentionally deceiving you because I'm worried about something. But a lot of times it can be, I just don't know how to say it. I can't figure out how to express to you what I'm feeling. Okay, so that's the first spot where miscommunication can happen. Okay. Moving on to the next one is two. When the speaker says some words and then the listener hears them. So like I said, this is the easiest point in the communication process. You say, I hear, I say, you hear. That's the simplest part. But even then, there can be challenges and miscommunication can happen, right? So sometimes I just didn't hear you. I didn't hear accurately what you said. Maybe there's background noise. Maybe we're in the halls in this old building where there's nothing that absorbs sound, so everything echoes. And I'm hearing what you said, and I'm hearing people walk down the stairs this way, and people open the door here. Sometimes it's just the sound, right? Maybe there's another barrier where my primary language isn't English and yours is, and so there's that miscommunication that can happen that way. The third spot where miscommunication can happen is over here. Okay, so let me click this button, move me out of the way. And then over here with number 3, I just learned how to use these. Miscommunication between box C, what's heard, and box D, the interpreted meaning, right? So often we will hear what somebody says, and then we're going to filter it through our own lens, through our own lifetime experiences, right? If somebody's telling me about, a story of something that happened to them, the tendency is to think about it as if, how would I feel or how would I react if that happened to me? Okay. And that's where we go wrong with between boxes C and D, is we tend to filter what we're hearing through our own life experiences. And that causes us to assume that we know exactly what the person meant, when a lot of times it's not the same. So the biggest thing is just remembering that when I'm trying to interpret what somebody else means, I'm guessing, really, because I don't know unless there's some sort of clarification that we go through together. But hopefully this kind of clears things up. I know you guys will still need to kind of talk about it and work through it with each other and with your teachers, but that's what this time is for today. So have at it. Let me know if you have questions. Come up to me in the hall. I'd love to talk about it.